Hey guys, before this video starts, I just want to say if you guys want to watch this in 1080p instead of 720, then I will leave links in the description of this for part 1 and part 2. But if you want to watch the whole video as a whole, then sadly I gotta do it at 720 because I do not have enough storage to make a 180p video at the moment. But with that being said, I hope you enjoy this 100 days of official hardcore in Bedrock edition, as it's the first ever 100 days of official hardcore Bedrock ever uploaded to YouTube, at least to my knowledge.
You see, the same God that we're saying might not even exist becomes real to us, but only when we're dying in bed.
Day 1, I spawned in on a remote island, and regardless of what I've been told about first thing you do is punch down a tree when you spawn into a world, the first thing I did was tame a jackass. I then decided that what I have been told is probably the best route to go, so after I tamed that jackass, I then cut down a tree. I then decided to slaughter any wildlife nearby to slowly disintegrate the ecosystem. The Minecraft overlords must have really hated that horse, because the second I slayed it, I ended up finding a village. I then decided to swim across the ocean in order to get to this village while my hunger bar was completely depleted. I then spent the rest of the night stealing all of the villagers' crops from their farms and locking them in their houses to keep them safe. This creeper scared the crap out of me. I then took the first piece of dirt I ever got in this world and put it in the corner of this villager's house. I then gathered myself a little bit of stone to help me with my stone tools. I then proceed to move my piece of dirt from the corner of the villager's house to the middle. I then made my first torches of this world, and proceeded to spam them as much as I could throughout the village. Did you guys see the creeper here? Because I didn't. And just like that, we're down to 1 heart. Let's get into hiding mode. I'm going to need to fill in any creeper hole. However, that's not a day 0 problem. That's a future me problem. And just like that, the sun is coming up on day 0, meaning we have successfully survived the first day. I ended up replanting the gardens that the villagers had because I figured I could use them to, at the very least, grow some more crops while I am consuming all the other villagers' crops. After that, I proceeded to rob all of the hay bales throughout the village. This is hardcore after all. I then proceeded to plant as much sugarcane as I possibly could. I know I'm going to need to expand this to a massive amount in the future, so any little bit I can get started right now counts. I then proceeded to start a mine, and as soon as night came, I tried to go to sleep. However, it didn't work because there was monsters nearby, so I had to take care of all nearby monsters before successfully going to sleep. I don't know how this creeper actually exploded. Day 2 was spent chopping down trees. Literally all day for day 2, I just chopped down trees. I ended up taking a wandering trader captive and killing his llamas for the leads and leather. Although, if I'm being honest, he probably despawned because I didn't name tag him. I continued to work on the mine into the night of day 2. I then determined that this here is an actual copper mine. I don't know if I've come across any before, but to my knowledge, this is the first copper mine I've actually found, and I guess if it's not the first one I've found, it's the first one that I know I found, if that makes sense. Maybe I found one before and didn't realize it, but this is the first one I actually found. Not like I'm going to actually use it or anything, though, because let's be honest, who uses copper? Well, something just killed the iron golem, so I gotta go out and look for iron in a little bit. I then went to bed on day 2 to continue the adventures in the morning. Alright, let's examine really quick. This right here is a zombie villager. This zombie villager is holding a iron shovel. Zombie villagers cannot be drowned, therefore zombie villagers cannot have that glitch happen to them where they have damaged armor or damaged weapons and you kill them, and after you drown them, I guess, you kill them and you get the fully repaired item. So I don't know how this worked, but I got a fully repaired iron shovel from that zombie, and I'm baffled on how. The carrot is understandable, but for the carrot and the iron shovel to both be dropped at the same time, I think that's even more rare in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong though. I then did find the iron that the iron golem dropped. It was 4 pieces. I guess the first time I said I realized it was an iron mine, I technically didn't realize it then because I was still just digging downwards, but then I came back to try to mine out the little bit of copper that was around me to get a little bit of EXP, and I realized that it wasn't stopping. It seemed like after a few blocks more copper would appear, and after a few more blocks more copper would appear, and that's when I realized this must be a copper mine, so I'm not going to keep digging it out. Well, I found a cave. However, I'm probably not going to explore it right now, being that I have literally no armor. After I get myself a little bit of armor, specifically iron armor, then I will probably be more keen to exploring caves, but until then I'm just going to keep digging downwards, trying to get to around negative 35, negative 40-ish. Then I'm going to look for more caves and hopefully find a pool of lava somewhere. However, before I do any of that, I need to go to sleep and start day 4. I then cooked some stone into the furnace so I could cook it a second time and turn it into smooth stone. I then proceeded to make my first bucket of the world. I think the corpse of the iron golem will be happy being a bucket. And on the morning of day 5, can you guys guess what I found? Diamonds! Well, I didn't have any iron except 4 raw iron that I have found throughout digging, so I decided to throw that 4 raw iron into a furnace and make myself an iron pickaxe so I can grab those diamonds. I found another cave opening down at -35. However, like I said a second ago, I've only found 4 pieces of iron, and 3 of those I've turned into an iron pickaxe. So I have 1 piece of iron, and yeah, I can't do anything with 1 piece of iron. I used the 4 pieces of iron from the iron golem to make a shield and a bucket, so I literally have 1 piece left, and I don't want to explore this cave until I have at least a decent set of armor. I then spent the rest of day 5 putting in stairs to make it a little faster going upwards. I then decided to explore that first cave I came across, and honestly, it had some fairly decent resources in it. I didn't go too deep because of how big it was, but I ended up grabbing all the resources that I could around the lighted area. I was perplexed by the height of this guy, but apparently he didn't like the staring and thought it was rude. I got me a little bit of lapis laying around. Along with that, I stripped every bit of iron that was in the nearby vicinity. At the beginning of day 6, I was still mining away at all the iron I could find. Here's the first time I got redstone. Honestly, guys, I don't think I need to show the first time I get an item here or there or whatever, but I just feel like it's better to show it because 1, you can see me getting it for the first time, obviously, and 2, if 5, 10, 20 years down the road, I look back on a hardcore world that I have, I can be like, hey, look at this stuff. Like, this was the first time I got this resource. So yeah, I just feel like it's good to have that type of quote-unquote, history in the video. So, with all the resources in hand and a half stack of iron, I ended up going back to my little makeshift base to put everything away into safekeeping. So, after I made this iron sword, I ended up going a little bit on a killing spree. I have now acquired enough food to last a while and 15 pieces of leather. And at about 12 noon on day 6, I ended up making my full set of iron armor. Day 6, and I'm frantically clicking my bed, trying to get to sleep so I can try out my new iron armor in the morning without breaking it instantly. I then decided to build a bridge. If I'm high enough off the ground that the mobs can't hurt me, I can't die. If my bridge isn't lit up, however, mobs can spawn on it, and it defeats the purpose of having a bridge. I then decided to place torches all around the cave system, and while I did so, I ended up taking out any mob that got in my way. My first slime balls of the world. Yeah, call me a schizophrenic, but I really feel like Mojang secretly doubled or tripled the creeper spawn rate in hardcore mode without telling us, because I have never, ever had this many close encounters with creepers, ever, in my other hardcore world. Bro had his no dude zone too close to my face, I had to cut it off. I don't know why, but I decided to keep working on the tunnel that I was making and digging it farther. I'm not sure if I was trying to get to negative 500 or just 0 or what I was doing, but at about this point I hit some iron, grabbed that iron, and I couldn't see the block in front of me, so I ended up mining it and realizing that it was an entire raw iron block, and raw iron blocks only mean that it's an iron mine, so I quickly headed back to base to basically get ready to harvest an iron mine in a little bit. They did something with the creeper spawns. Call me crazy, but they did something. And that's how I ended day 7 off, guys. A little side note as well, I don't know if this has been mentioned by anybody else, but I feel like the inventory button, specifically like, you know, the button that lets you go into your inventory, like the little 3-dot one, I feel like it has gotten smaller or was accidentally moved by the people at Mojang. But the graphics slash, you know, little button logo is still in the same spot. I only say this because I'm having to click a little bit above the inventory button in order to actually go in my inventory. Otherwise, I end up just clicking the ground next to me, and I'm like, what? It makes no sense. I know I'm not, you know, I know I'm not clicking next to the inventory button, as I've been clicking the inventory button for over a year in this game now, and I haven't had that problem until just now in this update. I decided that I would make my first bow and fishing pole on day 8. I then started building some villager pods so I could exploit the villagers easily. I am not sure if the villagers are set to the quote-unquote 1.21 update, as that's what they were calling it, like the 1.21 update villager trading thing. So I'm not sure if that's what they're on, but if they are, then I'm going to need to find a swamp biome if I'm correct, and I'm going to need to get a mending villager. And that concludes day 8. Day 9 was spent clearing out this geode and then lighting up the cave system that I ended up accidentally tunneling into. While cleaning out this geode, I ended up finding more diamonds. Okay, 1 diamond, but it was a diamond nonetheless. As nightfall came, I went above ground and started torching all of the land that was unlit. I then made my first diamond pickaxe on the night of day 9. And I decided to harvest and replant the sugarcane that I had growing. And as the sunrise was starting to come up, I went to bed on day 9. Day 10, and it's another day of nothing but cutting down trees. I then ended up making more torches. I seemed to run through them like water. And I decided to level off this beach, as it would give me some sand and look a little nicer. After that fun adventure, I ran back to shelter and went to bed on day 10. I then made a new iron sword and an iron axe, because obviously my main sword was almost broke and I needed an iron axe. Can you guess what I did for most of day 11? It was spent chopping down trees. Although at the end of day 11, I did venture to the back of the village and I found 3 pumpkins and a little cave that I made shelter in for the night. Can you guys believe day 11 is the first day I found coal? Dang. And just like that, day 11 is over. Guys, I want to take this day 12 as a checkpoint and ask you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, to please subscribe, and if you are enjoying the video, then hey, don't forget to like. Oh look, it's the cute multicolored dog. I then ended up taking those 3 pumpkins that I found and making myself a little pumpkin farm. That's basically all I did. Just like that, day 12 is over. I told you that's basically all I did. Day 13 was mostly collecting sand, killing animals, making torches, and stealing all the crops from the villager's garden. I then made my first flint and steel on day 13. And day 13 is over. Now, knowing where those diamonds are, I went to bed on the night of day 14. And a few more diamonds. I guess one more diamond for extra measure. I then finally finish cleaning all of the normal amethyst out of this geode and leave all of the budding amethyst so I can harvest it later. While I was trying to find the top of this iron mine, I accidentally stumbled upon another geode. I then went to bed before actually trying to clean out this geode. And this is what the geode looks like afterwards. Can you guess how long it's been? I'll give you a hint. It's been a whole day. Day 17 was spent basically doing nothing but cleaning out this iron mine. Actually, I think day 18 was spent doing the same thing as well. If you don't want to see me just doing nothing but sitting here mining this iron mine, then I recommend skipping ahead about 2 to 2.5 minutes. And just like that, guys, we are out of the iron mine with a whole bunch of deep slate, a whole bunch of amethyst, a whole bunch of tuff, and about a stack of iron. And that concludes day 19. Honestly, after this, I ended up checking my recording to make sure I was actually still recording, and I was. Day 20 was spent digging out this hole. I have some big plans for it. Yeah, day 20 was not very eventful. I'm not sure if you guys notice my camera shaking like my guy's having a seizure, but that is not me doing it. That's what happens when I end up playing on Minecraft for too long, apparently. I don't know why. It doesn't do it with any other game, and it hasn't ever done it to me when I've used a controller. So the only thing I can think of is basically after touching the screen so much or whatever, or touching the screen for hours, the game decides that the touches aren't as accurate as they should be, and then tries to determine where it should be located instead of where it's actually at, so you just got to restart the game to recalibrate that. Speaking of recalibration, this guy should have practiced his aim before he came after me. He shot like a stormtrooper. By the way, I think that was the first pillager I killed on this world, and that's also the end of day 21. And I made another diamond pickaxe to help me finish mining out this cave. And the end of day 22. If you can't tell, this is what I did for day 23, and honestly, this is probably what's going to be happening for a lot of days. For the sole fact that if I want to survive 100 days, 1,000 days, or even 10,000 days, I'm going to need to build some massive farms. And in case anybody is wondering why I'm killing every llama, horse, and cow that I see, I'm doing it simply for the leather. I need like 100 pieces of leather, and yeah, that's not cheap. So I need to kill everything in sight. And that's the end of day 23. I made myself a jack-o'-lantern so I could create an iron golem if need be. I then proceeded to pick all the sugarcane I could, and then replant it along the ocean's bank. With more lighting around me and more leather to my name, I decided to call day 24 a night. Day 25 was spent making my villager pods. Day 25 is successfully over. Day 26, I was using the passive mob's blood for a bath. I also ended up starting my fish farm on day 26. And day 26 is also successfully over. For day 27, I finished setting up my fish farm, massacring a few more animals, and making sure the collecting system underneath was set up properly. Day 28 has the same results as day 27. I wanted to make sure this fish farm still actually worked after 1.21. Oh yeah. And at the end of day 28, I ended up taking a nap in the villager's new bed. Day 29 was spent doing nothing but fine-tuning the collection system. I guess there was a little bit of shearing and animal slaughtering mixed in with day 29, but that's to be expected from me by now. On the night of day 21, Minecraft decided to reset my buttons back to the default settings, except my joystick was in the middle of the screen. I don't know why, so I tried to restart the game and see if that worked, and it did not. So then I had to go and actually change the settings manually to put my buttons back to the way they were. After that was done and my buttons were all back to the way they were supposed to be, I decided to call it a night on day 29. I'm sure you guys already know what I did on day 30, but in case you didn't, I ended up manually fishing a few times just to obviously make sure it still worked again because I was a little paranoid after the update. But after that, I ended up turning on my auto clicker and AFK fishing while I actually passed out for a few hours. Day 31, and I am still auto-fishing, auto-clicking, auto-fishing, I don't know what you want to call it, but I was auto-something, okay? And just so I am being 100% transparent with you guys, I actually was on the world for 6 hours and 40 minutes while I was either doing stuff, attempting to sleep, or passed out. But my auto-clicker only clicked for about 3-ish hours because after that time, the video ended up stopping, and then it just showed, the video on the screen and wouldn't allow my auto-clicker to click on the screen until I exited out of the video. So I probably auto-fished for about 4 hours out of those 6 hours and 40 minutes, but I figured I would let you guys know, like I said, just to give 100% transparency. And again, like I said, 5 hours and 40 minutes of gameplay. Here's a little video for you. I know this probably isn't impressive to most people, but I'm impressed with myself that I was able to turn 5 hours and 40 minutes of footage into 5 minutes and 20 seconds. At the dawn of day 47, I decided to check how much loot I gathered from about 4 hours of fishing, and to be honest, this is not that much in my opinion. So I grabbed a few bows that I wanted to combine together, and then I ended up grabbing all the leather boots and making them fully repaired. I then went back into the cave systems to get myself some more iron. Day 48, and I found a beautiful 6 vein of diamonds. More diamonds, and honestly guys, I didn't even see these until I turned around. A nice little 3 vein. I gave myself a little jump scare here. Obviously, if I explore a cave, I have to kill everything in the said cave. I left some of the thunder in because, yeah, the thunder was actually jump scaring me too. For some reason, I got jump scared from falling, and then right after that, the game was like, I know what I'm gonna do, and it decided to scare the crap out of me for like 3 minutes. However, thunder means dark skies, and dark skies mean phantoms, and phantoms mean slow falling potions. I made 3 blocks of iron and then turned those 3 blocks of iron into an anvil. With the god bow on hand, I was ready to kill some phantoms. And in that same night, I got my first phantom kill. And at the dawn of day 49, I got my second phantom. The sun put a little bit of a tamper on my phantom killing spree. However, I'll just continue killing more tonight. I just extended the sugarcane. I got my first piece of cooked copper here. Sadly, this guy did not drop a trident, but I got a second cooked piece of copper. Ah, look at that sunset in the horizon. You know what that means. And with 2 phantom membranes in my chest, 2 phantom membranes in my inventory, and 2 on the ground, I called day 49 a night. AFK fishing again on day 50 so I could make some food. After the food was consumed, I decided the best course of action would be to fall asleep for day 50. But before that, I really quick made all the books I could with the leather I had on hand. Day 51, I decided I needed some obsidian finally. And yeah, that took all day 51. I got 32 pieces. On the night of day 51, I placed all the bookshelves in the correct pattern in order to activate the enchanting table. And on the night of day 51, I made my first grindstone. I made my first diamond axe on day 52. I was cutting down some trees and found some drowned zombies hiding in the brush, so I decided I would kill them and see if I could maybe get some of that golden armor off of them, and it turns out it was all fully repaired. More sugarcane expansion. Day 53, and I'm sure you guys can guess what I'm doing again, but I'm auto fishing. I end up auto fishing for about 16-ish days, give or take. I know the exact time, so I ended up correlating the time over to days and showing you the final day results at the end. And that is where I'm going to be ending this video, guys. I know it's technically not 100 days, but I'm going to be making a part 2 and probably more parts on this series. If you guys did enjoy this video, then hey, a like and or subscription would be amazing. I'm currently at a shooting range at the moment, which is probably why it sounds so loud. Yeah, but like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, a like and subscription would be amazing. Stay tuned for part 2, and peace out, everyone. See ya. And before this video starts, guys, I just want to let you know that obviously this is part 2 because we are on day 70 of my official hardcore Bedrock series, guys. Bedrock has officially came to hardcore now. You don't need mods, you don't need any add-ons, you don't need any texture packs, you don't need any of that stuff. You can simply play a hardcore mode by just having the game. So, yeah, guys, that's what I'm doing, and I am attempting to be the first person in the world to play 100 days of hardcore officially on Bedrock and have the evidence in some form of footage. And obviously, the reason I say in some form of footage is because anybody can say, well, yeah, I did that, or, well, yeah, I spent 100 days in it, even if they simply just made a hardcore world and sat at a farm for a few days and then got off, or, you know, anything like that. So that they can say whatever. That's why I said, you know, video evidence or footage evidence. So for day 71, I simply enchanted my pickaxe and killed some phantoms for those membranes. Day 72 was spent stealing the villagers' crops and harvesting all of my sugarcane I have planted along the bank. Day 73 was spent AFK fishing until nightfall, then I planted some mushrooms so I could harvest them. On day 74, would you believe I built my first nether portal? Not to mention I kill some fully repaired armored drowns and spend the rest of the night of 74 harvesting trees. Day 75 was spent killing animals and smelting resources. I also made my first diamond sword. Days 76, 77, and 78 were spent basically strip mining and exploring cave systems to try to find as many diamonds as possible with my Fortune 3 pickaxe. I'm probably not going to add any more commentary to day 77 or 78 because obviously it's just this, guys. And if I sound a little off and or I don't even freaking know what to call it right now, my vocabulary is literally shot because of my brain. But if I sound a little off, it's because I've been up for like 3 days doing this. So I know I said I probably wasn't going to add any commentary to day 77 or day 78, but in case anybody's wondering why I tend to turn my coordinates on and off, usually I have my coordinates always on and I feel like it makes it way easier. So to kind of try to challenge myself, I ended up shutting my cords off on day 20. However, I do want to give a little disclosure or disclaimer. Yeah, I ended up actually turning on my coordinates in the nether and in the end because, yeah, ain't nobody got time for no coordinates in the nether and the end. Hey, can you believe I almost forgot? Day 78, I made my first set of diamond armor. I then set up my two signature armor stands so I can put my iron armor with my first shield onto the first stand and my diamond armor onto the second stand. Hey, day 79, what is it, like 4 or 5 days after I built the nether portal, and I finally actually go to the nether. I need to go to actually make sure it's safe anyway. I'm just really concerned that the moment I walk through it's spawn trapped and I die to some mobs that I can't do anything about. And remember kids, if it's your first time going to the nether, always crouch in case of cliffs and or mobs. I spent the rest of day 79 scouting out the general area, building a little bunker around my nether portal, and trying to tunnel to a different location other than a crimson forest. After I ended up dropping all of my blocks off, day 80 was spent basically exploring around 500 to see if I could hopefully find anything worth looting. Sadly, the most I found around here was just some cave systems. And this cave system here is about 750. Day 81, and with an efficiency 5 on breaking diamond pickaxe, mining isn't actually that much of a chore. I think I'm around 1000 at this moment, and I decide that I'm probably not going to keep going farther out. If there isn't anything at 1000, then I'm probably oos grade, so I decide to start tunneling to the side. It's a good thing I did though, because I ended up finding a whole bunch of floating warped forest islands. So from that last bit of video you guys saw, I was in the nether, I was tunneling, I ended up finding a warped forest, and I'm trying to get down to that warped forest. So I was building a path downwards, and yeah, my game was really laggy, guys. I was like 5-10 frames a second sometimes. I think it was running at about 15-20 on average, but I was getting down to 5-10, stuff like that. Probably even lower, and I didn't even notice it. But basically, I was like, what the heck is going on? I can't even play like this, and I kept trying to just write it off. I'm like, all right, I'll just keep going, I'll keep going. I'm like, nah, I can't play like this. So I ended up saving and quitting and stopping the video, or I should say attempting to stop the video, and I saw that the video apparently wasn't able to be stopped because it said it wasn't started. So when I went and checked it, I'm like, wait, I know I started recording, so what happened? It told me that that video is corrupted. Thankfully, it's only like 3.5-4 minutes of footage, but still, that's 4 minutes of corrupted footage, and yeah, just a little break to tell you guys about that. So if you're wondering why I'm a little farther than I was before, that's probably why. Day 82 was spent doing nothing but killing endermen for their ender pearls. I guess I also got my first glowstone on day 82. In hindsight, I probably should have brought that looting 2 book and or applied it to my sword so I could actually get more drops, because this was honestly painful. Day 83, and I'm still kind of looking for a way down to the warped forest biome. I am in it technically, but I'm at the very top edge of it and I want to be in the heart. As you guys probably just read, yeah, I lost my entrance, and it took me a while to actually find it. I ended up turning on coordinates about this time, maybe a little after, but I think it was beforehand, just because, yeah, I didn't want to lose it a second time, so I was like, alright, if I find it this time, then I'm gonna at least have it in video with the coordinates, so I can always get back there if need be. So if you guys need to, you can rewind it, but I want you to look at the block I'm standing on and let me know how the fire spreads there. There was no grass on the block I was standing on, it was the one next to me, and I don't know how the block that I was standing on just magically caught on fire. Maybe it's because of the fire spread, but again, I don't know how. Day 84, and look, here's my entrance. I actually almost missed the fortress because I didn't know fortresses could spawn in warped forest biomes. I thought Crimson Forest and Warped Forest were no-goes for them, but apparently I'm wrong. Now, it's not only my goal to get down to the main Warped Forest area, but also to get down there so I can get to the structure. Day 85 was basically spent just making tunnels / bridges. My first wither skeleton kill, and I sucker shot him. Look at all these awesome tunnels I've built for myself. And I killed my first blaze on day 85. Day 86, and I am attempting to trap this spawner so I can have a unlimited supply of blaze rods. I'm sure you guys can guess what I did on day 87. And we have successfully made it back out of the nether in one piece 8 days later. I guess for most people, if they were in the normal overworld, that'd be about 16-ish days, just because, days are about 10 to 13 minutes, and then people end up sleeping after, they can for night, because who wants to be up at night? But in the nether, you don't get no day-night cycles, so every literally 20 minutes is one day. And on the night of day 87, I ended up making my first Eyes of Ender. And here I just made myself a little nether wart farm. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I have been told that lava near your crops, at least for the nether wart, it actually helps it grow faster. And like I said, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's why I end up putting lava underneath my farm, because I figure if it does help it a little bit, then hey, they can grow faster. Day 88 was basically spent prepping everything for the end fight. And on the night of day 88, I ended up getting my first trident. Day 89 was spent enchanting my tools, killing mobs, and harvesting the sugarcane. Day 90, and I had to collect some more EXP because I didn't have enough to enchant my boots fully. On day 91, guys, I ended up throwing my first Eye of Ender. I can't believe it actually broke on the first try, guys, but at least I know the general direction. Day 92, and I am about to set out to find the stronghold. Honestly, guys, I thought this was going to be a multiple day event, but just watch this little bit of gameplay right here, guys, and let me know what you think about this. Like, I know strongholds are usually, or can be close, but I have never had a stronghold this close to me before. Honestly, I was considering not even fighting the Ender Dragon in this 100-day series, just because I didn't want to die, and I figured if I died, then I would have to restart, so if I don't die, even if I don't defeat the Ender Dragon, then at least I could say that I was one of the first, if not the first, to survive 100 days on official hardcore Bedrock. However, everything just kind of played out perfectly, guys, just watch. Honestly though, if you can survive in the Nether, you can probably survive the dragon fight. In my opinion, the Nether is way harder than fighting the dragon. But that didn't stop me from being paranoid about death, especially since I didn't have any totems of undying yet. I was considering looking for a pillager outpost, but I want to do that after my first 100-day series, so I can say that I survived the first 100 days with no totems. So I threw a second eye vendor at this village, and as we can see, it goes into the ground and seems to go under that bell structure right there, and I ended up losing it altogether, so I lost 2 ender eyes in 2 throws in this game. Okay, call me crazy, but they definitely messed with the sound of the Eyes of Ender going into the portal. I don't know, it still sounds the same, but it doesn't sound as loud, if that makes sense. Like, it's half as loud instead of how it used to be. And on day 92, I entered the end. The night of day 92 and the morning of day 93 were spent basically making potions after I got to the end so I could basically have the easiest fight possible. And this is the first time I have used strength potions in the end dragon fight, so yeah, in my opinion, they are a must now, because they kill it like twice as fast, if not more. Thanks for the knockback boost. Okay, not to spoil it for you guys or anything, but after I kill the Ender Dragon, it doesn't make any noise. Like, the Ender Dragon doesn't make noise when it dies. The eyes of Ender seem like they're like half as loud or a quarter as loud, but yet the dragon, the dragon that everybody complains is extremely loud and needs to be turned down, is still at the same volume. What the heck, Mojang? Yeah, this sound for the Ender Dragon sounds perfectly balanced with everything else. And that was one of the fastest takeoffs from a perch I've ever seen an Ender Dragon do. And just like that, the Ender Dragon is dead with no gratifying audio to release dopamine for all of our hard work. I then grabbed the dragon egg and made my way to the end gateway. Yeah, I'm very hesitant to go through portals when I don't know what's on the other side, in case you can't tell with the Nether and the End and now the End Gateway. I don't like portals when I don't know where they lead. But of course, we had to risk it for that Elytra biscuit. And here's where the chords come on in the end as well, because, yeah, like I said, I am not going to be doing this without coordinates in the end / the Nether. Am I the only one who gets like hella anxiety from doing this? Lucky Ender Pearl. Bro, the manners of some of these civilians. Day 95, and I end up killing a few more Endermen before I end up finding a end city. Unpopular opinion, but Bedrock is harder than Java in every way, shape, and or form. Like, look at this glitch that starts suffocating me in the wall for no reason whatsoever. You're going to tell me that Java has stuff like that happen? I mean, maybe it does, but you're going to tell me it happens to the same extent it happens on Bedrock? You're going to tell me that Bedrock is, I don't know, easier or something with the way the mobs spawn and stuff, or the amount of mobs that spawn? Like, heck no. And yet, I am showing that it is not only possible to survive on hardcore Bedrock, but also possible to survive on hardcore Bedrock while playing on a mobile phone. Like, guys, if you could see my screen right now, like with all the cracks, the cuts, the pixels missing and stuff, you would probably be surprised and wonder how I'm able to even see my screen, let alone play the game. I obviously got the dragon head because what kind of person would I be if I didn't? And here we go, day 95, and it is my first time flying the Elytra. So, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but the last end city I was at literally had no treasure room. The only treasure in the whole end city was on the ship. This end city here has one treasure room, and I'm standing on it. Like, what? Usually end cities have 2 or 3 treasure rooms, maybe even a ship involved, and I'm lucky to find one? Sharpness 5, looting 3, mending. Okay, yeah, I'll shut up. Well, after taking off from here, I ended up finding another end city, and just so you guys know I didn't fake this or whatever, like, I won't even cut it. Right there, it's that close. As you guys can see, being awake for 3 days straight has started messing with my mind. I thought I had the elytra on, but thank God I had a feather falling 4. And the reason these 100-day videos take me like 2 or 3, if not more days to actually make, like this one I'm trying to speed and it's taking me like 3 days, is because I have to not only make the gameplay myself, but I also have to edit the gameplay, plus I gotta deal with real life as well, and all 3 of those mixed together is a recipe for disaster. And on day 96, I have successfully beat Minecraft Bedrock Beta Official Hardcore on a mobile phone, and if I'm correct, I am the first person in the world, as I've said throughout this video and probably other video, or through the other video, I'm the first person in the world to actually have video evidence of it. If there is somebody before me, like I said, please share me with that link or share me that video or whatever, share it with me. But to my knowledge, I am the first. And since I'm like 99.999% sure that literally nobody has gotten to this far into the video, if you have gotten this far, leave a comment saying something random like chicken butt or something. I don't care, just something random. And like I said, since I'm 99.999% sure that no one has literally made it this far into the video, then yeah, if you guys did as well, if you want, leave a like or subscribe. Like, if you actually made it this far, then hey, consider leaving a like or subscribing. And if I can get 500 likes on this first hardcore official Bedrock series, then I don't know, I'll do another face cam or something. To my knowledge, the last face reveal type video I did was about 6 months ago, and that was when I had long hair per se, so yeah, in my opinion, I look way different than that. And other than that one, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and obviously I look way different from then, so yeah, if that's something y'all would be interested in, woohoo, a face reveal. If not, it's not something I really want to do anyway, it's just something I would do if this got 500 likes. But yeah, now that this is officially done, made, edited, converted, all that stuff, I'm just going to upload the video and I'm going to pass out. I'm not going to worry about the thumbnail, the description, any of that stuff. So if you guys are one of the first people to see this video and you happen to make it this far before I can add a description or thumbnail, then leave in the comments, hey, you forgot to leave a description for part 1 or something like that. And since it was the night of day 96, I technically still have 3 more days to go, so I'm sure you guys can guess what these 3 days were spent doing. It was auto fishing. Yeah, I ended up turning on my microphone instead of internal audio, so all of this is going to be really loud / staticky / chaotic / I don't know, so bear with me for these last few days. I'll try to mute it as much as possible and add some background music to maybe help you out, you know, a little bit with the ear pain, but that's all I can really do. And day 97 is officially over. Out of all the nights it could rain, it decided to rain on day 99. So, sadly, I probably have to pass out. I mean, there's a slight chance the rain will stop if I don't go to sleep, but there's a 100% chance it will stop if I do go to sleep, so I sadly have to go to sleep on the night of day 99. And that concludes day 99. We are finally at day 100. If you guys have actually enjoyed this or watched the whole thing, then hey, props to you. And like I said, if you enjoyed it, then hey, maybe a like or subscription if you're feeling generous would be amazing. I have spent 8 years doing content like this, and I have probably used 80 some gigabytes just to make this content for you here. So yeah, guys, if you guys could like and or subscribe, that would be amazing. And peace out, everyone. See ya. 100 days Bedrock official hardcore. Let's see if we can find anything, guys. 2 years ago, search filter, anytime this week. Technically, it's gonna be like this day, but this right here is a Java video. I shouldn't have probably clicked on it, but 100 days in 1.21 hardcore Minecraft. That is Java, not Bedrock. You can check it too. I've checked the beds. SFB, definitely not going to be Bedrock Hardcore. IBX Toy Cat. 3 days ago, he did stream some and what is doing hardcore, but to my knowledge, he hasn't got 100 days uploaded yet. And yeah, I survived 1 day in Minecraft hardcore. Yeah, I don't see any hardcore thing, guys. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy, to my knowledge, the first ever recorded 100 days Bedrock Hardcore series. Alright guys, 100 days official hardcore Bedrock. Let's go to search and filters. We go to types, my bad. We go to upload date and we go to this week. 100 days official hardcore Bedrock, guys. This week, 1 day ago, everything looks how to hack bridge on Minecraft Pocket Edition. I survived 1 day. The VOD bunny, okay, people like that, I dislike your content and I don't even know who you are. But as you guys can see, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, nobody has made a 100-day Bedrock video yet, guys. So, to my knowledge, I'm going to be the first in the world to do it on official hardcore Bedrock. Not mods, but official. And just because I thought of it a little bit later, let me show you. 3:34 a.m. on April 7th, I am checking through this, guys. 100 days official hardcore Bedrock. Let's just do this. Let's just type official hardcore Bedrock. Search filters, upload type this week, or time, or whatever it said. My brain's a little fried, guys. Like I said, 72 plus hours awake. Hardcore's finally on Bedrock. Mace on hardcore. How to hack bridge stuff. Bedrock first ever world attempt. Yeah, guys, there is no video on hardcore. Cheater, fake fraud. Would I cheat in my hardcore world? Ooh, SB. I don't know. I think you would. Nah, I don't know. But, yeah, guys, like, nobody has that content yet. So, if you guys see this video and, yeah, you know it's the whatever, then, I don't know, props, show props or something. If you don't want to, then I guess you don't need to. But, I don't know, like, how can I do this for so many years, be the first or the best at so many things, especially when it comes to mobile? Like, nobody does mobile. Maybe that's why, like, I mean, I guess people do mobile, but nobody does mobile for, like, content, you know what I mean? Like, it's not their main thing. If somebody does content, they're usually going to be using a PC, Xbox, PlayStation, something else, you know what I mean? Like, mobile gaming isn't really a thing, and that's basically all my channel is mobile gaming. Like, I don't want to do other gaming. I can do other gaming. I've played other gaming, but I just like to do mobile gaming and make content for you guys on a mobile device so I can basically do it whenever, wherever. So yeah, again, I know I said this a few times, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out, everyone. See ya.